Hey guys, HDV here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty cool things to go over. There have been some potential leaked updates regarding the Pokemon Presents happening next month. We also have some pretty big rumors to go over about Pokemon Legends EA as well. There's a lot of things to break down and take a look at today. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, we have this post here from Nintendo Soup saying, rumor, upcoming Pokemon Presents will only feature Nintendo Switch 1 games. Now, I spoke about this slightly in a previous video when we were going over all of the new Legends EA leaks from the Terra Leaker, and I said I'd touch upon this in a future video and go into it in a lot more detail because there's a lot of things to talk about regarding this and the potential of what we might see, what we might not see, and everything like that. So, either way, this is still, I guess, a rumor. It's coming from a pretty reputable source, but at the same time, nothing's confirmed until obviously we get to Pokemon Day. But it says, rumor, upcoming Pokemon Presents will only feature Nintendo Switch 1 games. So, following last week's leak about its existence, industry insider Jeff Grubb has shared some information about what we can expect to see in the upcoming Pokemon Presents showcase planned for this year's Pokemon Day, which of course is the 27th of February, if you didn't know that. And then according to Grubb, the showcase will mainly focus on games for the Nintendo Switch 1, despite the current hype surrounding the console's successor. So presumably, he is referring to Pokemon Legends EA, which was confirmed to launch on the Switch. However, it's also possible that there may be other games featured that we do not know about. So the exact quote is that I did hear that everything in that Pokemon Direct will be positioned as these games are Switch 1 games. They will work on the Switch 2 because obviously we're getting backwards compatibility, but they will not be anything that is obviously made for the Switch 2. So there's a lot to break down here. Starting things off, a lot of people were expecting Generation 10 to be, not a lot of people, but there was the potential that Generation 10 was going to be revealed on Pokemon Day, and then obviously released in 2026, just like we had with Pokemon Legends EA, where it was announced in 2024, released in 2025. Generation 10 announced in 2025, released in 2026 for the 30th anniversary. So according to Jeff Grubb, that's not going to be the case unless Generation 10 is on the Switch 1, which again, there are slight reports that it is being made for the Switch 1 and the Switch 2. I don't really see the point because Generation 9 ran so badly on the Nintendo Switch. Generation 10 is just going to be that, but tenfold. So I don't know why they would do that. We know that they've kind of been working on Generation 10 on the Switch 1 from the Terra League. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to drop for the Switch 1. For me, it just only makes sense to drop it for the Switch 2. I'm not even going to think about getting it for the Switch 1 if it does come out for it, because I just think you're just going to have the worst experience playing it. It's going to be much better on the Nintendo Switch 2. So that takes Generation 10 out of the equation, in my opinion. Generation 5 remakes, though, I feel like it does add some fuel to the fire about that, because not only is this the 15th year of, or 15th anniversary, should I say, of Unova this year in 2025, which is why we're getting so much Generation 5 stuff in the TCG, in merch, in Pokemon Go, everything like that. But as well as that, he says, you know, everything that he heard on Pokemon Direct will be positioned as these games are the Switch 1 games. So the fact that he uses a plural there potentially could mean that it's more than just one. So we know that we're going to get information about Pokemon Legends EA, but he says Nintendo Switch 1 games. So that could potentially also maybe mean Generation 5 remakes as well. Again, there has been reputable sources saying that they have heard something about Generation 5 games, whether that be, you know, made by somebody like Ilka or Pokemon Works or whatever. There has been just, I guess, hints that it is being worked on behind the scenes. So we know that there's 3 groups now at Game Freak. You have Team A, which obviously works on the new generation games. You have Team B, which works on the games like Legends Arceus, Legends EA, and now we have Pokemon Works as well, which you'd probably expect that they work on remakes and stuff. You know, Ilka worked on BDSP. They've now made a subsidiary called Pokemon Works, and that's part of Ilka and Game Freak, and so maybe they're working on the remake. So we have 3 individual teams working on an individual game. So I wouldn't be shocked to see Generation 5 games announced this year. The first game for the Switch 2, though, whatever it may be, whether it's a spin-off like with Pokémon Tournament or whatever, won't be revealed, though, according to Jeff Grubb. It's just going to be Switch 1 games, but that could still be Legends EA, and it could also be Generation 5 remakes. It could also just be a different spin-off as well. It could be Mystery Dungeon, it could be anything like that. They say, that said, some new information shared from the infamous Game Freak hack suggests that the developer is working on a Switch 2 version of Pokemon Legends EA. So we obviously covered this in the Legends EA sort of leaked video as well, where they're making like a super kind of version of it, like a Super Akaku, a super version of Legends EA, which is going to be an enhanced version for the Nintendo Switch 2, as well as the next mainline Pokemon titles. So we know from previous Switch 2 rumors that it will have backwards compatibility, and some titles will have enhancements when played on the new console. As such, it's possible that whatever is featured in the Pokemon Presents showcase will also benefit from this feature when run on the Switch 2, although we will have to wait for official news to be shared. So the whole thing with the Switch 2 kind of enhanced version as well is that going to be something that you have to buy if you already own the Switch 1 version? So on PlayStation and stuff, when the PlayStation 5 came out, luckily for a lot of the games, you just got the PS5 enhanced version for free, which should be the case. You shouldn't have to buy the game twice just to play it in a better fashion on the upgraded console. So if we do buy Legends EA on the Switch 1, which again we all will unless the Switch 2's out before that, then obviously we'll have already bought it, so you'd like to think we're going to get the enhanced version on the Switch 2 as well. But the enhanced version potentially might not be revealed on Pokemon Day, according to Chef Grubb. So when would that be revealed? It's a hard thing to kind of like think about, but the Pokemon Presents apparently is only going to be talking about Switch 1 games. So that's, according to Jeff Grubbs, there's some new details about the Pokemon Presents. I'm not shocked by it because all the Pokemon games that they're working on right now are for the Switch 1, barring Generation 10. So you'd think that they'd get those out the way before they move on. But either way, we know that Gen 10 and Legends EA are both going to be playable on the Switch 2 regardless. So it's looking like they won't reveal anything Switch 2 related on Pokemon Day, though, which is what it is. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but that's kind of the Pokemon Present stuff. We also have some extra leaks to go over as well about Pokemon Legends EA as well regarding the Terra leak. We've got Light here tweeting out saying, seems that there will not be a change of name of the region that will take place in Pokemon Legends EA, which is obviously what happened in Pokemon Legends Arceus. In Legends Arceus, we had Hisui, which was of course based on Sinnoh, or as a predecessor of Sinnoh. Pokemon Legends EA, the region is just going to be called Kalos, so it's not going to be set crazy far in the past for them to change the name, unless it was always called Kalos, which I think is unlikely. But so this can bring us that the game will take place in a short future after X and Y. It doesn't mean that it could easily be set in the past, and obviously it's still called Kalos. Like, it doesn't mean that it's going to be set in the future at all. You know, it doesn't, like 10 days before the events of X and Y, it was still called Kalos. You know, it doesn't matter that it's still called Kalos. It doesn't guarantee it's going to be set in the future. I'd still think it's logically makes sense to be just before the events of X and Y. Not like hundreds of years before, like Legends Arceus, but I think like a little bit before, or maybe after. I think both are still part of the equation, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, basically the extra leak was that the region name is not going to change. So that's all that. And then moving on, we have a pretty big rumor to go over regarding Pokemon Legends EA. This popped up on 4chan a few days ago on the 14th of January. Take it with a grain of salt. It's a big old rumor about Pokemon Legends EA. It talks about new forms, new Mega Evolution, stuff like that. Like I say, it's on 4chan. Probably fake. Either way, let's see what they're saying. So Pokemon Legends EA, so mechanics. So Let's Go Synchro Machine. You can now switch between controlling your character or your Pokemon, and one will follow the other. So when you're controlling your Pokemon, the trainer will follow you, and you can engage in simplified battles with wild Pokemon and scour the map for hidden items that only your Pokemon can find, searching bushes, trees, and small burrows, or diving into the Lumiose channels. If you stray too far with your Pokemon or go into areas that your character can't reach, a message will appear saying it's too dangerous to go this far alone, and the game will automatically switch control to your character, and the Pokemon will return to its Pokeball. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that, because we know that the Synchro kind of Let's Go feature was very well received in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So you'd think that they'd want to adapt on that in the new game. We did kind of get like elements of that from the original reveal trailer as well, because we were following Pikachu and we weren't following like a trainer or anything. And it says Frenzy Pokemon. So just like with the noble Pokemon in Legends Arceus, there are wild Pokemon in a state of frenzy that are highly aggressive and stronger than normal. This frenzy is caused by a pink mist that is affecting the entire Kalos region. And then rideable Pokemon, so most Pokemon larger than their trainers can be ridden. but some are better suited to certain types of terrain, such as Go-Go having difficulty riding on Glacial Dome, while Mamoswine walks without difficulty. So having a lot of rideable Pokemon would be interesting, because we'd expect it to be like 4 or 5 or 6, whatever, just like Legends Arceus. But all of the big Pokemon being rideable would be a change of pace. And it says Mega Evolution, so in this game, you will see Mega Evolution from a different perspective. So new Mega Evolutions have appeared, and a wild Pokemon will appear Mega Evolved without the use of a Mega Stone. So the Stars Pokemon are going to be Grookey, Tepig, and Totodile, which is 3 really, really random starters. But at the same time, according to the Terra Leaker, it is probably going to be 3 random starters again, so it could literally be anything. Then it says new regional forms. So Rillaboom is going to be a grass fighting type. Emboar is going to be a fire psychic type, and then Feraligatr is going to be a water dark type. So obviously the starters getting new forms, just like they did in Hisui. New forms, we're going to get Eternal Xerneas. I really like that name, which is going to be fairy type. Eternal Yveltal, which is going to be dark flying, and Eternal Zygarde, which is going to be dragon ground. Again, we're expecting a mega evolution of Zygarde, not a new form of it. We already have a lot of forms of Zygarde. I think a mega evolution would probably fit it better than another new form, unless we get like a flying variation or something like that. And then new Pokemon, Asgardial, which is going to be Grass Steel, and then Eternal Asgardial, which is going to be Stellar. And then we're going to get new Mega Evolutions as well. So Chestnut is going to be an evolution with Grass Steel typing. Delphox is going to be Fire Fairy. Mega Greninja is going to be Water Poison. Mega Talonflame is going to be Fire Flying. Mega Raichu is going to be Electric Fire. Mega Razumarill is going to be Water Fairy. Mega Golduck is going to be Water Psychic. Mega Florges is going to be Fairy Grass. Mega Scrafty is going to be Dark Fighting. Mega Toxicroak is going to be Poison Fighting. Mega Haxorus is going to be Dragon Steel. Mega Mienshao is going to be Fighting Fairy. Mega Zangoose is going to be Normal Fighting. Mega Seviper is going to be Poison Steel. Mega Malamar is going to be Dark Psychic. Mega Crocodile is going to be Ground Dark. Mega Heliolisk is going to be Electric Dragon. Cool typing there for that Pokemon. Mega Hawlucha is going to be Fighting Flying. Mega Staraptor is going to be Normal Flying. Mega Nidoqueen is going to be Poison Ground. Mega Nidoking is going to be Poison Ground. Mega Flygon is going to be Ground Dragon. Mega Escavalier is going to be Bug Steel. Mega Excelgor is Bug Dark. Mega Jinx is Ice Psychic. Mega Heatmore is Fire Steel. Mega Skarmory is going to be Steel Flying. Mega Noivern is Flying Dragon. Mega Druddigon is Dragon Rock. Mega Dragonite is Dragon Flying. And Mega Zeraora is Electric Fighting. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 31 new Mega Evolutions, and then multiple new forms as well. So 31. I just can't see us getting that many Mega Evolutions. It just seems a little bit OTT. I'd love to have that many, but I think it's just going to be I think it's going to be like 10 to 15. I think we're going to get like 3 or 4 new forms, 10 to 15 new Mega Evolutions, maybe like a new Pokemon. I think that's going to be it. So start of the adventure. So the story takes place 5 years after the events of Pokemon X and Y, and your character is transported through a portal to another reality where Lysander managed to use the ultimate weapon using the combined energy of Xerneas and Yveltal, and with that released a great power throughout the region that is being dominated by vines that emit a pink mist that drives people and Pokemon into a state of violent frenzy and increases their strength. So it's a cool story. It gives me Rainbow Rocket vibes, where obviously you see them all from the kind of worlds where they won. And I really like that idea. I think this would be a really cool like way for us to fight Lysander again, but in a more, I guess, in a more powerful variation though, because obviously he won in his timeline. So that would be really cool. No idea why we go to that timeline. I'm sure that would be explained, but it also says Lumiose City has become a large fortified city and the only one that resists the effects of the vines and their mist thanks to a force field installed in the Prism Tower. You will fall from the portal onto Dexio and Cena, who are at the entrance gate of Lumiose City, taking some rescued Pokemon to the safety of the city. But your unexpected arrival scared the little monsters that fled, so you will help capture them, take them safely to the city. So inside the city, you'll meet Shauna, Tierno, Trevor, and Callum/Serena, who will be very happy to see you and will tell you that they thought they had gotten lost after the ultimate weapon exploded, but you don't remember anything. They will tell you about the plans for rebuilding Lumiose City that are being carried out by Quasar Enterprise. This plan consists of making the city a safe place where people and Pokemon can live in harmony, away from the dangers of the vines and the mist. They're all working together with Quasar Enterprise to eventually bring the rebuilding plans to the entire region. Then goes on to say, they invite you to join them. Since you don't have any Pokemon with you, Shauna convinces Dexio and Cena to let you keep one of the Pokemon you just rescued, since they all needed a new home and a trainer would help with that. Then you must choose between Grookey, Tepig, and Totodile. After choosing your partner Pokemon, you will be taken to the Quasar Enterprise office and introduced to Clement and Bonnie, the siblings in charge of the construction and the collection teams. Both were previously gym leaders in the city, but are now dedicated to helping with the redevelopment plan. They'll both welcome you into their team, and you'll complete missions for them that range from collecting resources to controlling frenzied Pokemon attacks. So, I actually really like that idea. I think that's a really cool idea. It kind of, I mean, we know that Legends games are a little bit less, they're a little bit different to your normal mainline Pokemon games. I feel like it's a little bit of a mature sort of storyline and stuff. And I think us going to a world that's been taken over, and that we're part of like a small team that's trying to rebuild Lumiose and kind of save the world, I really like that idea. And I kind of hope that to be the case, because I'd like to fight Lysander again in a world that he kind of runs, like he's taken over it, and we have to kind of like overthrow him. I don't think it's true, because I don't think we're going to get 30 odd Mega Evolutions, but at the same time, I really like that storyline. So, you know, whoever made this, if it's not real, kudos, really like that storyline. But yeah, the Mega Evolutions make it seem a little bit unlikely. But let me know your thoughts on this rumor. Do you like the idea of it? I'm a big fan of it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. And then everything else we covered in today's video in regards to the Pokemon Presents. What do you think is going to get revealed on Pokemon Day? If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. Let's try and hit 500. Really helps out. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.